Do vaccinations cause autism? Independent research and hard science tell us that no, they do not. But many parents have been misled by this fallacy into not vaccinating their children. These children will be at risk for harmful infectious diseases that have been suppressed by vaccination for quite some time. In this presentation, I will present the real science behind the anti-vaccination debate and how that debate came to be. Not vaccinating children against infectious diseases is dangerous, and not just for the child involved. The main vaccine under attack by the anti-vaccinationists is the MMR vaccine, or the measles, mumps, and rubella vaccine. It is given to children 1 to 12 years old, and it is one shot that can prevent all three of these diseases. Measles is a highly infectious disease that can be transmitted through mucus or saliva contact. It can cause dangerously high fever, pneumonia, encephalitis or swelling of the brain, and sclerosing panencephalitis, a 100% fatal progression of brain damage. Mumps is slightly less infectious than measles. It can cause pancreatitis, encephalitis, and partial or complete deafness. Rubella is similar to the first two, but slightly less life-threatening, with the worst symptoms being encephalitis and thrombocytopenia, which is the tendency to bleed and bruise. 146,623 cases of disease and 8,973 deaths could have been prevented in the year of 2013 based on numbers provided by the CDC. We must consider the dangers of these diseases experiencing resurgence in the modern day because it will cause mutations in the virus and vaccines will become obsolete more quickly. These diseases are dangerous, and the very real risks of potentially fatal outbreaks must be weighed seriously against the unscientifically linked chance of contracting a mental illness as a result of vaccination. There are several basic misconceptions that are perpetrated by anti-vaccinationists in order to fuel the debate. The misconceptions are a large part of the reason parents decide not to vaccinate their children, so we'll dispel some of them here. Autism is actually a wide range of mental disorders and not a single malady. Like cancer, it does not have a single strong cause nor a single strong cure. Autism is not even stated on the CDC website as being a possible consequence of the MMR vaccine because it has not been scientifically linked. In fact, it specifically directs the user to a page explaining why it wouldn't be considered when making the vaccination choice. Now we have a visual aid. These are some of the faces of the anti-vaccination movement, and I'm going to tell you who these people are and why they shouldn't be listened to as experts on the subject. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is a career politician. He is from the Kennedy family, and he is not a doctor or a scientist. A quote from him of a scientist who has been a vocal proponent of vaccines and already the object of much hate mail from anti-vaccine activists. He said, "The doctor should be in jail and the key should be thrown away." Next we have Andrew Wakefield, stripped of his medical license in 2010 for ethical violations and a failure to reveal conflicting financial interests in research. He authored a fraudulent study that has been refuted many times and was retracted by the journal that published it. He has defended his anti-vaccination views even after the measles outbreak in 2014. Bill Maher is a well-known comedian with a talk show on HBO, and on his show he is quoted as saying, "Measles is not really that deadly a disease," which is factually inaccurate. And measles is not as deadly a disease partially because vaccination has helped suppress the disease in general. Michelle Bachmann is another famous politician. This is a quote from her from a debate with Governor Rick Perry. "I will tell you that I had a mother last night come up to me here in Tampa, Florida, after the debate. She told me that her little daughter got the shot, took the vaccine, that injection, and she suffered from mental retardation thereafter." This is an unsubstantiated quote. The person in question has never come forward and the quote has never been verified. Donald Trump, another famous celebrity and entrepreneur, has said, "I'm all for vaccinations, but I think that when you add all of these vaccinations together and then 2 months later the baby is different, I've known cases." He goes on, when Gretchen Carlson, the co-host on the program, interrupted him to say that most physicians didn't disagree with his position, he said, "Yeah, I know they do, they couldn't care less," or "I couldn't care less." Jenny McCarthy is a celebrity with no expertise that has recently recanted on her outspoken anti-vaccination views. Time magazine's article on the autism debate reported that the experts are certain vaccines don't cause autism, they don't injure children, they are the pillar of modern public health. And Jenny McCarthy is quoted as saying, "That's a lie and we're sick of it." Alicia Silverstone recently authored a book, and in it she states, one of the biggest problems is that 99% of pediatricians don't feel that parents should be involved in the decision about how or when, let alone if, a baby should get all, some, or none of the shots at any given office visit, an unsubstantiated statistic that has no known basis in fact. Christian Science is a well-known and powerful organization that has funded several research studies related to this topic and is a source of a lot of the conflicting data that leads to the debate continuing in the mass media. It is telling that the most famous anti-vaccinationists are not scientists, doctors, or professionals in the fields that relate to this debate. So why have they been so widely recognized and listened to by concerned parents? Well, mass media, dishonest research, and contradictory scientific results have created an unnecessary debate in the public. Studies originally linking autism and vaccination were published between 1998 and 2002. Immediately following, extensive research was conducted that clearly showed that the correlations between autism and vaccination were not based on fact, but rather on sorely misinterpreted data. It's understandable to want an easy answer to such a complex and pervasive problem as autism, but blindly attacking an extremely important worldwide health resource is not the way to go about it.